really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Hey, motherfucker, what do you like to do?
Oh, I don't know. Play chess, screw.
Well, let's play chess.
They give off to Jonathan Taylor. Jump cutting his way close to the goal line. He's in there. Touchdown. I-N-D-Y. Jonathan Taylor.
Wheeler finds Quan from the logo.
Here's Halliburton into the front court. Mishandled it, but gets a shot. Hits it. Hits it.
John, I have never been better to be on the air with you here in Indianapolis, a place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
So we are ready to rock, and football season, I guess, officially starts coming up today, 4:30. We are underway right here in this studio. Me and Bill and Casey and Rick will be there a couple of different times, too. We have the Colts pregame huddle at 4:30. Prior to that, Mike Chappell. So, listen, I don't know what's in the cards later on tonight. I don't know exactly what we're going to be looking for. Like, I've gathered some thoughts in my tiny brain. And to start with, all the focus is going to be on the first half for Anthony Richardson. And this is going to be twofold. It is going to be his longtime fans and defenders, i.e. video gamers, from Caleb's Generation Z, nerds. Sorry, Caleb. They're going to be hoping he looks great. Got to find a way to keep him. And then one of these days, he's going to end up being the starter. There's going to be that. But then there's going to be the other angle of, in this case, can you just play well enough to give the Colts back anything? To not force them into a situation where they have to cut the 4th overall selection in an NFL draft? You got to show, don't you? If you're Anthony Richardson, don't you have to show? And what if he does? What's our dialogue tomorrow? Well, I told you from one angle what it's going to be. But that is the one thing to start with I'm going to be looking for. I don't think it really matters. Yeah, it does matter. Riley Leonard. What Riley Leonard ends up doing in the second half. But just anything. Can you get anything for the dude, or will everybody just be waiting around to see when and if he ends up getting released? So we'll start right there. I know people have brought to my attention the wide receiver position, and with good reason. However, I don't know how much we're going to get out of that tonight, because nothing is going to change my mind, and nothing is going to change the mind of Mike Chappell, who joins us a little bit later on. You know, why there has not been significant action there so far is, to me, incredibly ridiculous. But we've been down a path that is similar to this, so nobody's really surprised that they haven't decided to do something else. And at this point, the numbers, the confidence is dwindling on what exactly you can do. But again, this path, the feeling good about what you have and, in quote, liking our guys, that has been snuffed out many a different time in the past, almost now 10 years, or going into 10 years. So unsurprising, but let's just say it is, unfortunately, a tactic that has rarely, if ever, worked. And frankly, let's just say it's never worked. Considering the results, it's never worked. So more than likely, it's not going to right here. So you just kind of continue to wait around. So I don't know what we're going to be looking for from wide receivers tonight. So what, positional battles? You got to go out and get somebody regardless of positional battles. You got to hope these guys just look decent. Can you catch a football? Can you rely upon them when things are actually real in week number 1? So that is number 2 on position battles list, I guess. I will say this. We'll go 2.5. I was going to give you 3. I'm going to give you 2.5. I am kind of curious about the offensive line. We know who is going to be the mainstays on the offensive line, but this is the Colts, and we do know that this Colts team will be injured. So how good do you feel about those that are competent backups in any of the categories? Left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle. Can you put together some guys that can come in and Swiss Army knife save the day on the offensive line? So I'll view that. That's a question, but I'll view that as 2.5. The third is going to be our good friend and the guy that is incredibly focused and he's got his concentration on winning this gig. We are groupies. So you got to see the team score or put themselves in position to score. So this begs the question. Let's just say, for example, in the first half, Anthony Richardson, you march down the field. Would you rather see Anthony Richardson trying to convert a fourth down to show everybody that, hey, this guy can actually play, or to maybe try to market some skill set? Yeah, I know. Or would you rather see Schrader or Groupie come in to say, all right, let's decide this bad boy, decide it right here, or at least be on the path of deciding it in actual games? Got to think about that. So third on the list is the kicking battle. And I think we all know this to be true since Blake Groupie came on this show. He had a wide margin, according to many, and then he decided to shrinkage that margin with coming on this show and then having all the bad luck happen afterwards. Now, his first misses came clearly after his appearance on this show. As I told him during this conversation, we had Matt Gay on, and everything was going great, and Matt Gay was this guy, and everything was going to be fantastic, and it all went right in the crapper after he came on this show. Shortly thereafter. So we shall see. Those are 3.5 angles in which I think you should look for coming up later on tonight. Other than that, it is just a feel good that for a minute it's going to be back, and I get to get back here at 4:30 with my guys and talk it up. That'll be a fun time, and just get football back. But it is lean exactly what you're going to take away from this particular evening, the start of 2026 with the Colts on the road in Foxborough. Some different angles. And you know what? I probably understated a little bit too much, Riley Leonard. You would like your backup to look decent. Make no mistake about that. And I think most people right now, everybody pretty much sold on Richardson not being a part of this group come hell or high water at the beginning of the season. Will they carry 3? Will they carry him? Will they cut him loose? So there is a little bit of drama. I don't know how dramatic it's going to be, but a little bit of drama regarding that aspect coming up later on tonight. And we get you started. That is the Colts pregame huddle. My friends at 4:30, and I bring that to you. And we'll be good to go. Thank you guys for joining us. You got to love the Indiana Bears. So please point out, because I think we owe it to ourselves, our fun-loving selves, to make fun of all these clowns that felt that even if the Chicago Bears relocated a stadium to the region, to the armpit of Indiana, well done. You got to have a state-of-the-art stadium, so where do you want to put it? In the armpit of Indiana, the region. All right. That's where it goes, state-of-the-art. The last thing state-of-the-art in the region was like the Jackson 5, I think, right? The Jackson family, that was the only thing that's ever been state-of-the-art in the region that I'm aware of. That true? ABC 1, 2, 3, that was state-of-the-art. Yeah, since that point in time, not so much. It's just been kind of an armpit. But they're going to put a state-of-the-art well, that's what they say. They're putting more pressure on Illinois and Chicago to give them what they ultimately want. It is a political game, and yet another reason as to why politics and political games and all this truly suck. But for us, we get to sit back and we get to watch, we get to watch the state of Indiana and our government officials trip over themselves to pat each other on the back for it. And then we get the report yesterday that they were going to be called, if they're going to move, and they're definitely going, and they're going to be called the Indiana Bears. Hey, point out the fools that felt that the Indiana Bears would be the new name. That is absolutely fantastic. There is nothing more stupid than that. The Indiana Bears is what some felt they were going to end up doing. Now, those that are smart, those that are savvy, knew all along. And in fact, knew all along what George McCaskey referenced a little bit earlier today about that subject.
No, we will be the Chicago Bears, whether we're in Arlington or whether we're in Hammond. And as Kevin said, our focus is on Hammond. That's where we're advancing our efforts. And that's where the bulk of our time, attention, and resources are being devoted.
They're still going to end up in Arlington, aren't they? And listen, I don't care. They can go to Hammond. It's fine. Yeah, and good for Hammond and the surrounding area. I make fun of the armpit all the time. And because a former producer friend of mine, Tony, is from there, I used to make fun of it. And he was kind of caught halfway between thinking it's funny and then getting mad about it. He was from Portage. He is from Portage. But I make fun of it all the time. I mean, hell, everybody makes fun of Greene County, so I can make fun of the armpit whenever I want. So the Bears, as of right now, as of this moment, they are leveraging their forces to build a state-of-the-art stadium in the armpit, but will not be called the Indiana Bears. That's beautiful. The Indiana Bears.
I like when you say like that, too. The Indiana Bears.
Can you imagine? I love it.
It's just crazy, dude.
I love it. And listen, there's nothing wrong. Maybe one of these days we end up with the Bears in Hammond and the Bengals in Lawrenceburg or somewhere in Dearborn County right there, right? Who knows? They'd probably end up in Kentucky before they would end up doing that, but you got to love it. The Indiana Bears. But you got to clown on the folks that felt that was going to be the case. You got to clown. Who in the world would think that that's accurate? What? The Indiana Bears. But at least as of right now, the leveraging is that of Chicago. I should say that of the Chicago Bears being in Hammond. And we will ultimately see where that goes. Like I said, and others have said the same thing, so this is nothing that is original by any stretch. We will believe it when there is a shovel in the ground. I think about that all the time. We knew a new stadium here was coming. Remember, Peyton Manning put that first shovel into the ground where the Lucas Oil Stadium now rocks? We knew that was coming. Yeah, unfortunately for people around here that volunteered and was a part of arguably the greatest Super Bowl hosting of all time. I feel comfortable in saying that because I'm from here. Yeah, that is me. I am rabble-rousing, I guess, a little bit here. That is me being, if you want to know what butt sniffer is, that's me being a butt sniffer. I'm sniffing butt. The greatest hosting of a Super Bowl of all time was here. That's butt sniffing. Me. Call myself out. But unfortunately, you're never going to see another one around here until you do what? Until there's another shovel in the ground. And maybe you have a little bit of success at some point to lead up to it. At that moment, this was one of the model organizations of the NFL, and I think we know how things have gone shortly thereafter around here. You get wound up into that, and you get mad about what they're not doing, and then you think about what you've been a part of for the better part of the past 10 years. This absolutely has sucked. And it's much different than how it sucked in the early stages of the franchise being here. In the early stages of the organization being here, everybody was just happy he had a football team. Didn't matter. Really, wins and losses did not matter. Old guys came with their penny loafers. The wives came with their knitting. Nobody tailgated, and you came down here and, hey, we got an NFL team. And it did wear off. And you got a taste in 95. Then obviously during the Polian, the Dungy, the Manning era, they took it to a level that you had always hoped for, never thought they were going to reach. And that's the mark. That's the benchmark right there. And should always be the benchmark. One of these days, hopefully, they're able to work back from that or work back to that, because this whole thing stinks. You know, this constant question, this not knowing. Remember the days when you just thought, all right, it was by design they're going to end up winning 13 games. Hey, you're going to win 13. You're going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. You're going to get home field throughout the postseason. You know, how many of these how many of these nationally televised games, national games you're going to be a part of? It was never a question. Cut that meat. And that's why it's always funny when people downplay that today, when people kind of make fun of it today. That's how you know somebody's really stupid, when they make fun of that. Because right now it's just a group that continues to chase the tail. Not in a good way either. So maybe lightning in a bottle this season. And again, that starts coming up later on this afternoon. 4:30, the Colts pregame huddle. I am proud to be a part of it, and you're going to get more Rick Venturi, which is absolutely outstanding. Me and Bill and Casey. And they got this segmented, and we've got yip yapping to happen. Going to be great. We'll lead you right into countdown to kickoff. Caleb's over there. I'm John. Got a lot for you, too. So we have stuffed what is normally a 3-hour show into an hour and a half. And Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59, who was a part of the group in Canton, Ohio this weekend when Adam Vinatieri goes into the Hall of Fame. Mike's going to join us about that, about this team. And I'm sure we'll elaborate more on exactly what I was trying to explain, what I'm going to look for later on tonight. Things that I will zone in on. Now, we'll talk about that with Mike coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Meantime, you had a little practice meeting with the media from the Fever. And this is working out well. Ultimately, all that matters is if you win or lose. And I know to some of you out there, it doesn't, because you hate the coach and you want to fire the coach. But let's be about winning. Don't cry and whine to me on a daily basis about all you care about is winning. And then when you have a 21-12 team, the only thing you care about is crap, is stupid. You just give yourself away as a numbnut, and I don't want to view you that way. I felt bad yesterday that I had to go off on a jackass or two. It shouldn't be that way. I mean, honestly, I think we all should be in the same gang on this. You just want to see success from the local team, really, no matter how you get there, no matter what path you take. And this group is working from the back a little bit on this. What has been, it's like a blind man without a cane. Kind of sometimes, hey, I don't know where we're going. Let's just go ahead and we'll say something right here. Hey, we'll do something right here. Hey, believe me, we've seen this before. But it's got to be about the winning. It shouldn't be about anything else. 21-12 speaks volumes. You don't can a 21-12 head coach unless you're stupid. Don't be stupid. Especially one last year that accomplished what they accomplished last year with me and Caleb as a part of it. Seriously, the equivalent of being down a quarterback, a wide receiver, your 3 best players, you're down to your 3 best players, and you make it all the way to that final game of the Eastern Conference semifinals. Now, this goes, and I'm going to go ahead and put to bed or to rest the whole booing of the head coach, because you guys know how I feel about that. And ultimately, you pay the price of admission. So if you feel that is necessary, then so be it. But I think you understand by now how that the players feel, and especially Caitlin Clark. And Caitlin Clark is the one that you care about the most in all of this. And that spoke volumes after the game and the win on Tuesday night. So who we got queued up right here? We had some conversation, right, Caleb? Aaliyah Boston was talking about the boos that she heard when her head coach was introed on Tuesday night at the Fieldhouse.
I think when you are on your home floor and your team's getting announced and the coach is getting announced, I feel like there's no reason for any of that. I mean, we come out here and we do everything that we can to win, and I think Steph does a great job with us. Like, we love her and we appreciate her, and so to hear that, it was really annoying, honestly, and disrespectful. But for us, I mean, we kept the main thing, and we said we're going to come out here and we're going to get that dub.
That's it. And that is about winning. I took it further. I thought people that were doing that were dumbasses, and that's just me. And I know some people got offended by it, and you can just be offended. But no, ultimately, we should be about the same thing, and that is about winning. And I will say this. If everything with this squad goes into the toilet, and it really doesn't even have to go into the toilet, if they just simply put, do not reach the expected results, that is when we come calling. Not for dialogue. Now, granted, you go back to Saturday, and that was a major swing and a miss. But the one thing that you should note out of Tuesday night that others haven't, because others have significant agendas. And the one thing you should note that I've explained to you is how that was a make-good moment for the head coach. Now, it also got back to you and got back to me. It was about those that were critical of it, but it was a make-good moment for the coach and the team, which was what? Let's all say this together. Necessary. It had to happen. And that's exactly what did happen. Now, if you flip the script and Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham shakes the head alongside what Caitlin Clark is saying in the postgame after the win over New York. If you flip that script and that said before the game, the coach doesn't get booed. There's zero way tomorrow night the coach is going to get booed in the intro. I'm just trying to tell you what may not be fashionable to you, and maybe it doesn't fit your agenda. Or maybe it doesn't fit who is leading you around by your collective nose on a lot of topics that doesn't matter about basketball. But the basketball part, the wins and the losses, that's what matters the most. And these folks are telling you that right now. They're explaining that to you. And in a world of the WNBA, when most of the time either stuff is lost in translation or completely bobbled and fumbled altogether, that's really all you can ask for. Kelsey Mitchell was asked about that situation on Tuesday night, too.
Yeah, it kind of threw me for a loop, too. I told her to her face, I said, Coach, this is for you. In terms of just a sense of confidence, a sense of awareness of that you're not alone. And if anybody know me, it's like I don't play that. So it's like it really hurt my feelings to see her kind of like have emotions in terms of like not feeling valued and not feeling wanted in a place where she has to coach. At the end of the day, this is her job, and so, she has to show up too, and I think that people don't really recognize that, and I think that it's our job to remind her. It's our cultures. It's our culture, and I think we have to remind her that our culture is not going to let her fall to the wayside, and so I hope she knows that.
21-12, and you move forward. And what was a significant error in coaching judgment in the post-game presser on Saturday is exactly a part of what the head coach and again, you look back on it, was everything perfect? Nah. There were still some things you go, okay, whatever. But it was a make good for the team. Exactly how I told you. Exactly how I explained it. A make good for the team. It was necessary. It simply was. All right, 239-1070. I'm still getting ripped in here. On our text line, what? I should get ripped for this, Caleb. I played again last night. I'm an absolute mess. If anybody ever wanted to beat me in a free throw shooting contest, 11 to 1 on Saturday is the time because my sights are incredibly bent. In fact, my jumper is like a bottle rocket. I just light it and have no idea where that son of a gun's going. None.
Have we gotten to the bottom of why your sights are bent? I feel like that could be a bigger issue than just
I think it's psychological. I think it's psychological. Actually, I think I'm a little tired. I think I've done too much.
Probably the answer.
I think I try to be like everybody younger, and as much as I want to be like everybody younger, I'm an old ass, and I think that has compromised the quality right now. It's simply put. Seriously, you think about something that the quality has been compromised? Steak and Shake. That's me. Just call me Steak and Shake because it used to be great and it's fun-loving and you wanted to go and, hey, come on in. We're going to sit down. We're going to eat. And now, hey, you got to order on this screen and get your ass up and get out of here because we don't want you to sit down here. The quality, just call me. My quality has been compromised. That's me.
We'll call you Steak and Shake.
I'm Steak and Shake. Good Lord.
Well, there goes any chance of them sponsoring this show.
I went last night to try to get better. I did. I tried to get, well, really, all the fast foods do the same thing. McDonald's does the same thing. Yep. Hey, we don't want you to stay. Can you order from this kiosk? Can you not make eye contact or verbally communicate with anybody? Can you get in and get your ass out as quickly as possible? And I will say this, old or young, that's not how we're built. Because I come from an era in which McDonald's was a restaurant. You're going to go in there and you're going to sit down and you're going to enjoy. And now it's, hey, can you eat this stuff out of a bag in your car? Because we don't want your ass in here. That's really where we are with fast food in general, not just the 2 of 4 mentioned fast food locations. Where we are. Yeah, somebody asked if I have the yips. I don't even think it's the yips. I'm FUBAR right now. See, I'm FUBAR. Everything else, I feel good. I feel comfortable. I feel alive. I'm in shape. I'm not tired. Well, I am a little bit tired, but I can't lie about that. I think it's me trying to be you a little bit. I think I can dig it. Trying, though.
It's admirable.
Yeah, it is. You know what's so funny? And it's not lost on me, everybody out there. It is completely meaningless. I realize that. It's meaningful to me.
Yeah.
But no, it's really, it should be meaningless. And there are just certain aspects in my existence that I magnify into being meaningful that shouldn't matter whatsoever. That's one of them. Like it should not. People are going, why does it matter? You know, and it's not like you're getting paid. But it bothers me. I guess that's why it matters. And that's kind of how I'm wired. So that's not great. It's Caleb over there. I'm John. Mike Chappell is going to join us coming up at the top of the hour. So, yeah, if you ever wanted to really get me and hoop, now is the time. The free throw shooting contest with me is at the Indiana State Fair from 11 until 1 on Saturday. I would love, and I mean love, to see you all out there with me. We're going to have an absolute blast, and you can win State Fair passes, family packs, certificate out at the Indiana State Fair. That is on Saturday from 11 until 1. Downtown tomorrow, Hurst and Lamontes brings us live to you. We're going to be at the Balcony Bar. It's called Pivot inside Hyatt Place, right across from the Field House. So hold on a second. Before I hit a break, we've got Pat Boylan. You know how much I love Debbie Antonelli. I'm the biggest Debbie Antonelli fan out there. They're both coming, so now we have somebody else. John Nolan said he was coming, but he's afraid I'm going to get him lubed up before his broadcast, which I am a bad influence, but I understand that situation. Somebody else is coming too?
Kelsey Casper, who's, I think, the sideline person.
Kelsey Casper is coming too.
She's got a story, I guess, so stay tuned for that.
She's got a story for me?
Yeah.
Like a good story?
I think
feel
so.
Good. We need a good feel-good story.
On a Friday, man. Yeah.
Great. We got weather, too?
No, sir.
Wow, we're
Not
just
in yet.
the 3 o'clock weather's been a whiff job the last couple of days. What are they doing over at Fox 59? Who's putting that together?
It's a great question.
May have some storms later on tonight. I did want to give my thoughts to those in East and East Central Indiana that is going through what has been called a 1,000-year type of flood and water conditions with the rainfall there. I know so many of you out there that listen to this show have been affected, or you know somebody, family or friends that are being affected, and we are thinking about you, Eastern and East Central Indiana, with the just incredible, like biblical flooding that is going on there. We certainly are thinking about you, which is just an awful time. And just stuff in the middle of August you never think about. And here we are. Really stuff in many a lifetime that anybody's ever thought about going on there right now. Folks, we're with you. We're thinking about you. Quick break, we'll come back. Don't go anywhere. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan. Hey, JMV here for Sundown Gardens, Miss M's Home and Garden, having their annual Grab a Duck, Save a Buck sale. Retail garden shop, either location, 10 to 50% off of retail purchases. Labor not included in this sale, too, and this is how it works. So you check out Garden Center-wise, pick a rubber duck out of the pool, win 10 to 50% off of that purchase. Grab a duck, save a buck. Sundown Gardens and Miss M's Home and Garden, 10 to 50%. Tell them I sent you. Sundown Gardens, 186 in Spring Mill Road. That's in Westfield, sundown.gardens.com. Or Miss M's Home and Garden, State Road 135, just south of Wrightland Road in Bargersville, msmshomeandgarden.com today. John for Love, Heating and Air, Ohio dealer, 317-353-2141. John and Chris Love to the rescue. Hey, size up your system right now. Have them check it up and find out exactly what needs to be done. If nothing needs to be done, great. But if you need a repair, mention my name. They're going to give you $144 off the service fee. That's how we think about you on this show, especially this time, to make sure you remain cool and comfortable with the best in the business. Love, Heating and Air, Ohio dealer. Call 317-353-2141. Right now, Kendra will answer. Say, hey, I need a repair. I want the JMV savings here. $144 off the service fee. That's love-hvac.com today. Best in Realty, Mark Dietel, Mark Dietel Realty, 317-755-4232. That's markdietel.com, markdietel.com. Today, downsizing, upgrading, the versatility, I mentioned this yesterday, of Mark Dietel is absolutely the best. Whatever your needs might be in your situation, Mark Dietel will deliver. The only real estate expert I trust and recommend with the sale of my home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. It's Mark Dietel, Mark Dietel Realty, 317-755-4232, markdietel.com, markdietel.com today.
The Ride with JMV.
Just an average guy with exceptional hair.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
There it is. The only thing picturesque ever out of the armpit would be the Jackson family. And a shout out to Janet Jackson. My first name ain't Baby. It's Janet Miss Jackson if you're nasty. Indeed. A state-of-the-art stadium in Hammond, where the only thing state-of-the-art has been the Jacksons from the armpit. Hey, go ahead and put that shovel in the ground and start digging on that state-of-the-art facility in the armpit. Love it. The Indiana Bears was classic, though. The numbnuttery that were duped on that's beautiful. You got to love it. JMV, back to the Fever for the moment. My only question is, can you see a scenario, Rick Carlisle doing that after Tyrese Halliburton's clothesline by a Knicks player? Do you see him coming in the press conference and the first thing you said was, blank is a competitor and won't let an easy layup? No, he'd say unacceptable. And, Steve, what I would say to that is that's how I felt on Monday. And that's exactly what I said on Monday. But what was said on Tuesday before the game was a make good on that. It was a galvanization of the team. It was bringing the team together and knowing that you messed it up. Now, the whole I didn't see it stuff, I understand. That's lame. But you are making good for the moment in which you whiffed. I'm okay with that. I'm all right with it. And let's face it, there's so many other people that only care about stuff that is off the court, certainly more than I do. And I kind of view that as more an on-the-court situation where it took place off the court. But you always got to make sure that everybody's together, especially with your team, because you have everybody coming at you. My question was back on Saturday, if you're somebody like Stephanie White in that moment, it's kind of like how she entered that whole press conference situation on Tuesday. It was like, I don't care anymore. Why would you care? Why would you care about Carrington? Why would you care about, making sure that the WNBA is, covered and is feel good? Just make sure that your team is the one that you care about the most. And that's how it felt wasn't done on Saturday. So Tuesday was a make good. I get that. It's not lost on me. There are some things, like I'm a forgiving guy. I go, okay, because I mess up all the time. See, it's a lot of you out there that are incredibly online perfect, right? You guys are perfect. Now, I see what you're saying. You're perfect. Now, I'm not a perfect guy. This has been a far from perfect situation. But when you execute something, even if it was a bit muddy and sometimes discombobulated, but somebody like me can understand who you're speaking to, for the most part, on Tuesday night, and that was to your team. I get that. That is a make good. It's just like the crowd that booed her will no longer boo her after what Caitlin Clark had to say about it. Right? The crowd will learn from that experience, just like Stephanie White will learn from that experience. She botched it on Saturday. It was a make good on Tuesday. And I think a lot of you fail to understand that because you get caught up in all the dialogue from numbnuts out there. Don't do that. I may be dumb, but I have really, really good intentions. And Caleb can speak to that. My intentions are good. And then I look at 21-12 and I go, really, if it matters about what's going on the floor, what are you guys complaining about? That's the case. JMV, arrogant clown calling people out when you didn't care about winning, when you cried on Monday. No, I just explained what I meant about Monday. Makes perfectly good sense if you know. If you don't know, that's why I can give a remedial version to you if you don't know. But I thought I explained myself rather well right there in what the intentions are. Hopefully you're on board. Hopefully you better understand that now. The Pacers schedule is released. Have you eyeballed that yet, Caleb?
I have.
All right. What are we talking? How many nationally televised games?
There are 11 games on ESPN, Prime, Peacock, or NBC. So those would be considered national. The opener is Wednesday, October 21st at New Orleans. And the home opener is 2 days later against Dallas.
Dusty May's coming to town.
Yeah.
Woo! The home opener. It's going to be a Green County party.
Come on now.
It was Green County. You know that a guy called the JMV Takeover a couple of Saturdays ago. His name's Adam Nante. Adam Nante is a friend of mine. We called him Fabio because he was like 6'5" and I guess a good-looking dude. So we called him Fabio back in the 90s at Eastern. So Fabio was always the dude that sat behind the bench of all the Michigan games, whether anywhere, especially at IU, and he was always drinking beer.
I heard this.
Yeah, he was always drinking.
I heard when I was listening.
I said, Fabio, you're always drinking beer behind the bench, and he called in to request a song on Saturday, and I said, so are you going to be behind the Dallas Mavericks bench? Because they go like 3 rows deep with assistant coaches. So I don't know. Are you going to be directly behind the bench drinking beer like you were when the Michigan games were on? He did the same thing, by the way, at Florida Atlantic.
Yeah.
You could always see him behind the bench when Florida Atlantic made their Final Four run. You could always see him behind Dusty's bench drinking beer. Always.
We need to see if maybe Dusty can stop by the studio, John.
Yeah. Now, by the way, Adam Nante is in. He's going to love this. Adam Nante is his name, and Nante is a notable last name in southwestern Indiana, especially around Lagodi. The Nante name.
Well, I would say the only other note from the Pacers schedule that I think is interesting is they return to Oklahoma City on February 5th, so that will be Tyrese Halliburton's first time back in Oklahoma City playing since the injury. So
February the 5th. So
February 5th.
That first ESPN game is versus LeBron James.
Yes, early October.
Here. Right?
Late October, yeah.
October the 28th.
Mm-hmm.
It's a prime affair on a Friday against the Knicks. We're all getting Peacock on a Monday. That's
January.
The start of the year against the Bulls. Peacocked again against Giannis and Bam and the Heat. The 1st of February. Prime, as Caleb mentioned, OKC. Peacocked at Golden State. That's 2/15, February the 15th, a Monday. Primed again at Miami. Peacocked again with What the hell Charlotte have?
A lot of people.
Knipple?
Yeah. That's what they're saying.
Which is like saying his last name. That was the best last name.
They got rid of your boy, though,
I
LaMelo.
want my name to be Knipple. I can't stand it. I can't watch anything LaMelo Ball.
But I'm saying.
Not one thing.
Do you think maybe some people in the NBA are like this? They think Charlotte's going to be better without LaMelo Ball. And so that's why they're getting I don't know. That might be the calculus there. I don't know.
That Charlotte game's Peacocked on a Monday night, another prime at Houston on March the 13th. NBC versus the Toilet. That is on Tuesday, March the 16th. And then Peacock for the final time. Now, is there a chance that you get advanced and slotted in different spots, right?
Absolutely.
So,
which I think will happen for this team. But I am kind of surprised it's only 11.
Only 11 and only one on network television, we should note.
So, again,
there is zero way everybody in this universe that loves the NBA right now does not miss TNT. No way. There is no way. This world of the NBA with that angle in mind sucks. No way. None. And we don't know as of yet the content carrier and or provider.
no,
we?
sir. No, sir.
We're still looking.
I would say this, too. Their first West Coast road trip of the year is kind of over the Christmas time.
Yes.
So from the 20th to the 27th, they got 5 games out west. Clippers, Lakers, Suns, Jazz, and Denver. All through kind of the Christmas holiday there.
Yeah, Ben, to answer your question here at 317-239-1070, what service do you need to watch every Pacers game? We do not have that information right now. We're on board with you. Hey, JMV, I think you're right about how you explain this entire situation. So I don't know why anybody would be mad. Well, people are mad because this guy just thinks I'm arrogant. I'm far from arrogant, but I'm not going to wither away and blow away in the wind if anybody counters me with something else that I don't believe in. We can still all be friends and have disagreements, and I do. I lob the numbnuts and the dumbasses and all that all the time. I just can't help myself. I'm a hillbilly. What are you going to do? It's probably better. It could be worse. We could say it could be a lot worse. Through the window here, I see Casey Valier. Is Bill Brooks out there too? No. I see. Oh, no, okay. Bill's not here yet. I see Casey. I see Corbin out there. We are having, are you ready? Preseason game number 1, Colts pregame huddle dialogue. Pre-show dialogue out there in the hall. Quick break. We'll come back. Chapel, top of the hour. It is preseason game 1. The Colts and the Patriots, 4:30 is the Colts pregame huddle. You heard my opinion on what to watch for later on tonight. We'll get that from Mike coming up at the top of the hour. Hey, don't go anywhere. It's 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Best in Plumbing, Lance and his local team celebrating an anniversary. L.D. Smith Plumbing and Drains, 317-927-7186. No matter what your needs might be, and believe me, some of you have significant amounts of water, and you probably noticed if you have compromised pipage, meaning if you have drains that are clogged, that is so problematic. Make sure you are clog-free with the Best in Plumbing. L.D. Smith Plumbing and Drains. Lance and his local team at 317-927-7186. Celebrating an anniversary. Find out more online, ldsmithplumbing.com. John here for Big Red Liquors powers the JMV Takeover every Saturday night, just like this Saturday night. Your party power on B105.7. Sun Cruiser 8-pack cans, $3 off. Cutwater 4-pack cans, a couple of bucks off. Somebody has told me about Monaco. I think Monaco's got some sort of a relationship with UFC, right? 12-ounce cans, a variety of. They may have something called Porno Purple or Purple Porno. Porno for Pyros. That was a band in the early 90s. Something like that. Monaco flavors. Great deals right now. In fact, 2 for $6 you can find at Big Red Liquors. And, of course, a shout-out to my man Jim Romanak and High Noon Hard Seltzer. Double shot power on the JMV Takeover. 8-pack cans on sale, a variety of flavors right now at Big Red Liquors. 100-plus locations, state of Indiana, one near you, and red-hot deals abound and easily found. BigRedLiquors.com.
The Ride with JMV.
This is Bill. Mission in life. Make Chuck a man.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Did you watch the rest of it?
I sure did, John.
Boy, there was some pretty sweet nudity in there, too. Early 80s nudity.
The rejoinder that just played was from the movie, and
I was
trying to. There was like 15 different things I wrote down, John, that could be rejoinders that could be added in.
You love Night Shift, didn't you?
Michael Keaton is very quotable in that film.
Yes, indeed. That is our guy Caleb over there, who's got the smarts real good, courtesy of this show. I am an influencer. I'm influencing. Hey, by the way, this date in history, this date 1982, shall we celebrate? Have you seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Don't tell Jake Query
That's
this,
up next.
He is.
That's up next.
Okay.
This date in history.
I know Jake
Fast
loves
Times.
that movie. And so,
Well, we had Mike DeBone, Robert Romanus, the actor, on about a month ago, who was in town. Glorious. But that is, and I did not, on opening week at the Bloomington College Mall, and this is how stupid I am, or was, and still would be, is we had a choice between Fast Time, the first week of its run, College Mall Cinema, I'm there with my friends, and it was either Fast Times at Ridgemont High or a comedy classic called Wacko, little-known comedy called Wacko. I was the deciding vote, and we chose Wacko over Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So I could have started, and really I'd already started, but significantly started my self-gratification with the Phoebe Cates scene had I decided to go see it. But instead, the first time I saw Fast Times at Ridgemont High was in the living room with my mom. So G was in there and watched the whole Brad Hamilton scene. And this is all nonsense to you right now, Caleb, because you've never seen it. But Brad Hamilton, to the vision of Linda, Phoebe Cates, decided to self-gratify himself, in this case, in the bathroom, and she walked in on him. Well, I was watching this film for the first time with my mom, and my mom turned to me and said, quote, "Do you do that?" That's great. I'm 12 years old. Do you do that? I said, only during episodes of Alice to Flo. That's about it. Do you do that? Did Betsy ever put you in that situation, Caleb?
I don't think so.
Come on, Betsy. Don't do that. Yeah, I was. No wonder. No wonder I'm scarred. JMV, in honor of the anniversary of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, can you book Mark Cutback Davis or Bob Jungle Death Gerard on the show today? That's great. Those guys, Wes Reynolds shout out. Now, true story, this date, 1982, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Mike Chappell, top of the hour. We're going to lead you into Colts and the Colts pregame huddle. Colts and Patriots coming up later on tonight. We got you covered beginning at 4:30. The Pacers schedule released about, 15 back-to-backs? Did you read that?
I did see that.
15 back-to-backs in the season for the Colts schedule. 11 so-called prime timers right now, too.
So the Pacers, I mean, yeah, it feels like a lot, 15 for
Start
the Pacers.
the season on the road at New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
That and more coming up in Mike Chappell. You guys sit tight. We'll be right back with you next. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan. The District Tap, your home for greatness. TVs everywhere. Happy hour specials everywhere. Damn good food. You will love it. Location downtown, just a block from the field house. You can post up there, post game it up there. I talk about that all the time. Live music. They have event space. They have catering. And on the north side, if you don't want to jack with downtown, that's okay too, because the Clearwater Crossing location is led by Sammy. The server and the bartender will make sure your experience is incredible. Damn good food, happy hour specials, TVs everywhere. Especially this time of year, you're going to get a little sampling of absolutely everything. Football, baseball, whatever you love, you will find it at the District Tap. To find out more about the locations and their catering, thedistricttap.com. Andy Moore, Buick GMC, 131st, State Road 37. That's in Fishers. Eric Wilson is the guy to get a hold of right here. And if you're looking for a great deal and the best car, the best SUV going right now, they got you covered, too. The Buick Enclave, a variety of styles. That means something's going to fit your budget. You're ready to roll out with one right now. The inventory, the service after the sale, and the incentives to buy. You just got to contact my friend Eric Wilson. Andy Moore, Buick GMC. Tell him I sent you. 131st State Road 37, Fishers. Oh, it's Big Red Liquors. Big Red Liquors, 100-plus locations, one near you. Powers the JMV takeover every Saturday night, B105.7. The Red Hot deals and more in those locations nearest you. You can find at BigRedLiquors.com. All the light beers that you love, including Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors Light, and the Modelo series of beers. You can find there, too. Also, Corona. All the great deals, all right now at Big Red Liquors. 100-plus locations, state of Indiana, one near you. To find it online, BigRedLiquors.com.
The Ride with JMV.
Give me my theme music.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
We got to hustle in this 4 o'clock hour. If you guys are watching via YouTube, check it out right here. Did you see me put this helmet on?
I did. And
my
you
big ass head
took
barely
it off.
fits in that right there.
You went to go fix your hair right after.
I did, man. I was worried about it. I look like, you ever watch the Flintstones over there, Caleb?
Yeah.
I look like the great Gazoo when I put this thing on right here. Like a little bitty body and this big-ass head right here.
You need one of those practice things the players are wearing now to make it even bigger.
Like the Fisher-Price toys that are like pegs that just have no arms. They all look like Chris Hagen. And they all like one big head and no arms.
Wow.
Mike Landis.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I think Chris Hagen and Mike Landis are related. Did you ever think about that? They both have little bitty arms like they're from a Fisher-Price toy box. There.
It's a nice helmet.
They're both going to love me. That is badass right there. Casey Valier is going to join us in here coming up in just a minute, but on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline with obviously the Pacers schedule out. We've talked about that. Fever tomorrow. Inbound tomorrow at Pivot Balcony Bar, Hyatt Place with our friends from Hearst and Lamontes. You guys got to be there for that. We're going to have great guests in the 5 o'clock hour. Let's size up tonight as we get started on 2026 and the Colts season with preseason game number 1 in Foxborough. And Mike Chappell joins us. I gave about 3.5 reasons why I'm going to pay attention later on tonight. Where do you start?
Yeah, more than that, because, again, what we're going to see, one, I want to see how Anthony Richardson handles the offense, not so much how he plays, but all the reasons that Shane Steichen said that Daniel Jones won camp last year, commanded the offense, before, pre-snap, all that. I want to see how he handles it. If I'm Mike Vrabel, I'm throwing a blitz at him from the right side, because that's what Richardson did not pick up last year. That's what I want to see. I'm not expecting 70% completions. I'm not expecting him to run a heck of a lot, but just have control of the offense. And then it's going to be, I don't know how many starters play. Jalen Travis probably plays. I don't know, not very many. So how do the backup corners look? Mooney Ward's back. Would have me a little concerned that he stayed home because of irritation in the back. Those things can linger. We all know that. And then how's the offensive line, the backup guys, not as a group, but how does the backup center play? Dalton Tucker probably, and it's in the running back. Is the Seth McGowan? Can he continue to play at a decent level, because they need somebody to give JT an occasional blow.
So Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59 on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Is this about Richardson being a part of this team, or about Richardson showing off or showing something at all, and hopefully for him being a part of another team?
That's a hill I've been willing to die on, that they need to move on. And I still will believe that, but I'm convinced now that he's going to be here. There's been enough time, barring an injury somewhere that might change somebody's, to give up a 5 for him. I don't know. But I'm convinced he's going to be here. And if he's here, he needs to be your backup. He just does. Just having talked to people and, sort of in high places, I just think that they believe he's too much of an asset to let go. You're not going to save any money with him here or not here. It's the same. So I think he's here. That's why I just think he needs to play well to kind of ease any thoughts of on the field. And let's not have any dislocated pinkies because you don't pick up a blitz or whatever. I was talking to somebody. This would be easier if he was just a bad guy. If he was, disruptive in the locker room. He's not. He's a great guy to be around. He's still maturing, and he's 24 for crying out loud. I think it is. So he's still young by NFL standards, but he's got to prove that he can be the guy if Jones gets hurt, hold the fort for a couple of games, or if it's a serious injury, hold the fort longer. And that starts tonight.
So Mike Chappell, who's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, joins us. Colts-Patriots tonight, Colts pregame huddle with me and Casey and Bill and Rick and Scotty J and Corbin starts coming up at the bottom of the hour. So you think they've already made a decision on the backup, or is this meaningful with these two backups other than just hoping that maybe you can find somebody that would, give you something back for Anthony Richardson here?
Yeah, we've been through these so-called open competitions for position, and it has not been the case. Maybe it still is. Maybe it still is. Each player has had good days and bad days. Richardson and Leonard. I just think that Leonard will give you the better chance over a short period, maybe even over a longer period to win games. The thing is, he's got his extremes. He's got such a high ceiling and such a low floor. And if you're willing to, deal with that, then okay. With Leonard, you sort of his floor's higher, but his ceiling's lower. But they need to. I thought all along they needed to have a guy before now, so he's getting more snaps in camp. They're taking it the other way and trying to give each guy enough. We'll know after the second preseason game, I would think. At some point, you got to have a guy, and then whichever guy is not the guy, he plays the third game. So, this is all about the backup quarterback and 4 or 5 receivers. This will be the chance for these receivers, the Treadwells and the Westbrooks and all the other guys. Doolin, I don't know if he plays much tonight, but here's your chance because the main guys aren't going to play. So until they get another guy in here, these guys have got to have to step forward and show they could, be the 3, be the 4 if needed.
Well, Mike, you and I both have talked about this really until we've worn everybody out on it. The reason why they have not decided to go ahead and move forward because understandably they need it right now. I don't know if they feel like they don't, but they certainly do. And the fact that they haven't is, to me, major concerning in the wide receiver category for this team.
I as much as I'm sitting here today,
yes,
I believe they're going to sign a guy, and I believe it's going to be Keenan Allen. And I think it's a case of it's training camp. He knows the offense.
He doesn't want to jack around with it.
Who's that?
Keenan Allen. He doesn't want to jack around with camp at this point in camp. Is that it?
Probably. I mean, there's probably a lot of guys out there like that.
Are there financial terms? Maybe the reasons why they're sidestepping anything monetarily speaking.
I don't get that. I don't get now. Maybe between $500,000 and $1 million here or there. I don't know. He's not going to get a monster contract. $4 million, $5 million. I don't know. That's maybe that's high. This is the time of the year that they get that $2-3 million unless the team really something comes up and you really need a guy that might be out there. But I think this is a case of timing, and right now the timing's not right for whatever reason. I will be very surprised if Keenan Allen's not in here. Again, he and Shane were together 6 or 7 years with the Chargers. He had 80 catches last year with Justin Herbert. So if he comes in here and gives them, 50, 60, and step into Michael Pittman's role and then let the other guys be who they are with certainly more targets for Downs and for Pierce. But when the other day when I was in Canton, but you've got practice going on, you got Pierce not practicing and Downs not practicing. I mean, does that send a shiver down a coaching staff that this could possibly be what they've got? So, I do believe that's going to happen next week in 2 weeks. I'll be very surprised. And I don't think he'll practice in Westfield, but I just think he'll be here.
Offensive line wise, obviously we know who will be the mainstays here, but what about the depth, which with this team, as we followed it, is always going to be necessary? Right. How good do you feel about that, and how much you think can be cultivated by tonight and the rest of the preseason and training camp moving up to the start of the regular season with that in mind?
That's what we've got to find out. I go back to the great Howard Mudd, and he was never trying to find a good second unit, 5 guys. He was trying to find a good swing tackle, a guard that can play both guard spots and center, and that's what they need. They need to find out who the backup center is. And this just shows what happens when you get rid of or you don't re-sign your only Ball State player. You're in deep trouble when you don't re-sign Danny Pinner. I'm half joking, but he could play the 3 spots inside, and he can play center. And now they've got to find out if Dalton Tucker, or I think it's Jim Morrissey, and they've had the backup guy has had some problems with the snap. as has Richardson. So, is Blake Freeland finally ready to step up and be that swing tackle? Tenuta maybe, but you need to have. I'd love to have 8 guys that I felt really good about, and then 9 or 10 that okay, if we get that low, we're not going to be paralyzed. And right now they've got probably 6. If I put, but that's with Dalton Tucker at guard. And they've got to find a backup center. Again, when the times that Danny Pinner played center for Ryan Kelly, he played pretty well. So that's what we see. And it may be hard to judge that tonight when you've got 5 different guys playing. I think Jalen Travis plays tonight because he needs to, but that won't be the group. That won't be the unit. So you're going to have guys sort of not to where they might be moving forward. But you got to find those 2 or 3 guys who, if something happens, and something always, like you said, something always happens, except for, what was it, 2019 when everybody played started every game. That happens once every decade or 2 decades. So you need 8 or 9 guys, and right now they don't quite have that.
Mike, I had Blake Groupie on because I'm a groupie, and I explained to him, I said, last time I had a kicker on, it was Matt Gay, and he got the kiss of the show, and it was bad luck. At that point, Blake was perfect during camp in kicking. Since that point in time, maybe not so much. So that is going to be a major focus starting tonight too, right?
Yeah, are you bigger than Blake Groupie? You might be.
I think my I don't want to say it. I feel bad because I kind of made fun of his his stature a little bit.
He's a little guy, but he's got a strong leg. He's got the franchise record with a 60-yarder for crying out loud.
He's a little bitty guy. There's no doubt about that.
They're going to they'll split it up again. I kind of favor having one kicker kick tonight and then the other kicker kicking next week.
Will they do that, though, or are they going to split? And
I don't know.
And how will they handle – Mike, the other thing I want to ask you this, because you have the experience, how do you think Shane Steichen's going to handle it? Will they push on trying to showcase, for example, Richardson or Leonard in moments in those big plays, or will they go ahead and say, we got to figure out what these kickers are doing right now and utilize them?
Instead of going 4th and 6,
right?
Have Groupie kick a 57-yarder or something like that. That's a good point. That's why I would have a kicker kick all game tonight, because if you split it up, maybe the guy in the second half doesn't have chances or the same chances. I thought there was a time when Brian Mason talked about splitting it up, but we'll see. He'll have enough information, and right now Blake Groupie is statistically the better kicker. And then you've got Schrader, who was having a great start, and then he tore 2 knee ligaments in his kicking knee. So they will get rid of a good kicker. We were talking on our podcast today on Fox 59 might you get a draft pick for one of these guys? I doubt it, because teams rarely give up draft picks for kickers. But they'll make the right choice because they've got 2 good kickers. And whether or not everybody agrees with their choice, we'll see. But this is like a good problem to have, because both guys have proven in the league that they can kick.
Who would you pick right now?
Groupie.
Me too.
I mean, the numbers say Groupie, and you can't keep saying, well, Schrader's coming back from that knee injury. Yes, and Schrader's coming back from the knee injury. So, yeah, and that's too bad, because Schrader was just knocking it out of the park at the time. But for his part, Groupie came in and didn't miss a kick. So that's all you can ask for, and that's why I say I don't think there's going to be a wrong choice. But there will have to be a choice made.
So Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59, he is on the Andy Moore Automotive Group power line. Before I let you go here, anything else that stands out to you as far as what we're evaluating for this preseason game 1 tonight?
No, I want to see if, like, for the second, not tonight, but for the next week, will they play starters some? Not Jones. Again, I've said this before, you got a better chance of playing. Put that helmet on and you can play.
You want me? Oh, did you see it right here? I put it on, and I look like the great Gazoo from the Flintstones.
And it needs to be worse, because you need to put the Guardian cap on, because you don't want to get your bell rung. Yeah.
It's messing my hair here, Mike. I can't have that.
That's a look. That's a look for radio, as they say. But I'm looking forward to tonight just to see how again, how I don't care if they get their doors blown off. I just want to see them play well in certain positions.
So Mike Chappell of CBS 4, Fox 59. All right, Bob Seger, cover? Is that this? That's Friday, right?
That's tomorrow. I got everything as long as the weatherman cooperates.
I think you're going to be good, pal.
What's that?
I think you're going to be good.
I hope so.
And my daughter went for the Fab Four and the Beatles thing last Friday and loved every second of it. Yeah,
I've seen that before out there, and it's outstanding. And again, we got some daughter-in-law's going, and my wife's going, and we're looking forward to it.
Well, and
took care of us.
We are. It was a pleasure to do it because you do so much for us in this station.
Appreciate it.
And we love doing stuff for you. So especially stuff like that. So
appreciate it.
You got, buddy. Enjoy the game tonight.
Later.
Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59. He is on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So, Caleb, you're not running this event coming up later on tonight, are you?
I am not.
No.
I am out of here.
Did you see me wear this helmet right here?
Yeah, I hope the YouTube people saw you fixing your hair, too.
I can't
said
have
that's
messed
what you
up
did.
hair, everybody.
That's what
I can't have it. We Grow Hair Indy.com or Big League Barbers would not allow me showing up with jacked up hair. No way. No way, shape, or form. All right. Hey, keep in mind this. We're going to go to the Colts pregame huddle here at the bottom of the hour. In fact, in under 5 minutes, we're going to be going to the Colts pregame huddle. So, yeah, we're going to split the difference on the show and get Casey and Bill in studio. And then we're going to get Rick Venturi on here as well and get you set for countdown to kickoff. And then everything is back with Matt and Charles and the gang and Lara as well. Get you set later on tonight for preseason game number 1. Now, I should also remind you a couple of things today. We didn't get into this with Mike at all, but they are moving forward with the state-of-the-art, and the only thing in the history of the armpit, the state-of-the-art outside of the Jacksons, evidently is going to be the stadium. But that's what they're saying, but it is not it's not concrete just yet. Don't get the bull float out because it's not concrete just yet. So you know. It will not be called the Indiana Bears, as so many unfortunate numbnuts felt that was going to be the case yesterday. One of our good friends chimed in with, I guess, a couple of the local political leaders felt it was going to be the Indiana Bears. Come on, fellas. Why don't you guys just text me and I'll tell you. I tell you what, you guys text Mike Braun, and then Mike Braun will text me, and I'll tell him what's actually going on. You guys concentrate on politics, all right? Don't get off the road here. Come on, guys. So, anyway, not the Indiana Bears. Pacers schedule released 11 nationally televised games. Caleb, at this point, we do not know the content provider locally for the Pacers just yet.
I hope when we do find that out, maybe we can get our guy Austin Karp back on here because I know he was great explaining it.
The smart's real time. Good, buddy.
But, yeah, still waiting to see that. Who knows? I mean, like, what? I don't even know when that needs to be decided by. Like, when are we going to know? There's no way.
I guess they still have. They probably already know right now. They just haven't announced it. I mean, you're going through negotiations to make sure you don't run people off, I would gather.
Which makes me scared. The longer this goes.
A price tag's going to run people off. And I can just tell you, and it's not something that's going to be lost on them. If this is, for example, if DAZN is their carrier and it's $35 a month, people are not going to be down with that program. They're just not. And I've sold them on this season and our guy, Tyrese Halliburton. So you got to be there. So you can't jack around with it.
It makes me nervous that this still hasn't been decided and it's dragging on, So we'll see.
Can't happen. All right. So anyway, we got that no content provider just yet, but we know that there will be 11 nationally televised games. What did we say, 15 back-to-backs?
Yes.
I think over the course of the season.
That
and
is
they
what we're
start
seeing.
Their first game on the road at New Orleans, their home opener. It is going to be Greene County all the time, everybody. Greene County, Dusty May and the Dallas Mavericks. Greene County is going to be up in this place for the home opener. Love it. Dusty May and the Dallas Mavericks. Tomorrow's show in front of the Fever and the Dallas game. Caleb, tell everybody we're going to have a special 5 o'clock hour. We got plenty of Colts and Patriots recap on the way tomorrow, but 5 o'clock hour is going to be really fun coming up tomorrow, correct?
It is. Fever Takeover. A couple weeks ago, Debbie Antonelli posited it, and it's happening. Pat Boylan will also be there. Kelsey Casper with a story. Remains to be seen what that will be, but it
John
should be fun.
Nolan will be hanging around, but he's afraid that I'm too much of a bad influence and I might compromise the broadcast, which is probably savvy by him.
He knows you.
Smart
he knows
move
you
by him. All right, so here we go, Colts fans. Are we going to be able to do this show live, or we got to shut the whole YouTube thing off?
I believe the YouTube is getting shut down.
It's a bummer right here. Look at me. Right here.
Tune in on the app, your car.
Got it. Me and Casey and Bill and Rick. This is going to be your Colts pregame huddle party starter coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Hurst and Lamontes brings us to you. That is tomorrow. Hey, can you join us? It's going to be a party. Pat Boylan, Debbie Antonelli. What's her name? Casper? Yes.
Yes. Field Yates?
Yeah, Field Yates. Oh, we got a lot for you tomorrow. Pivot Balcony Bar, Hyatt Place, downtown before the Fever game. Recap this game tonight and more tomorrow at Pivot Balcony Bar. We start at 3 with 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Colts pregame huddle straight at you next.